So this video will be a pretty much just like if you're gonna start this game, and my honest thoughts on said game, which are that I think the game's pretty good and I highly recommend it. It's very very welcoming, I'd say, just to new players. Like, I started the game and I mean I got these 2 characters almost immediately, and I got this one for free, and I chose that one. It was just crazy. You didn't have to, like, by free I mean I didn't have to, like, pay money to, like, get draws to get the said characters, because it wasn't required. They gave you a bunch of stuff, which of course is probably because of the fact that I did join in during the anniversary. We got a bunch of free stuff for the anniversary. But for just like, if you're on the edge of trying this game, I highly recommend it. Although I will say the starting quest, the main story at the start is not the most engaging, to say the least. I didn't exactly, I wasn't exactly very invested in the story at the start, but I had to give the game a good college try, mostly because I saw a character demo and I was like, oh, that looks cool, and then I gave it a shot, and
efficiency above all.
I ended up loving the game, loving the story. But for starters, just the exploration is fun, mostly because it's quick, but it's not like so over the top and quick that
comes with the job.
It doesn't feel rewarding whenever you like find something, or whenever you just run up a wall or something. Like, you run up that wall and it doesn't feel like you shot up there like you're Superman or something. It feels like trivial. It feels, I don't know how to describe it, but the exploration is fast enough that it's not boring, but slow enough that it still feels rewarding whenever you get somewhere that you were trying to go. And from going from Genshin Impact, which is character-locked exploration, not character-locked exploration,
some pocket money. Won't say no to that.
Definitely comfort locked behind characters. It's very nice to see that the exploration isn't character locked, and it's mostly just like these items and stuff. And oh god, the only thing that I can say for sure that I know from, I don't know if there's any other characters like this. Oh god. But Phoebe here is the only one that has like crazy exploration just based on her character. But mostly every character is the same. I did see that a character called Cantarella, you can look her up, I guess. I can just show you. Gallery. Cantarella here apparently swims faster. I'm not entirely, I think that's true. I'm pretty sure that's true. But you can also fly in the new area, so it really doesn't matter too much. I think this is Lockman Quest. But the game exploration is fun, it's engaging. They make it easier whenever you get like to a certain point, you can really throw down the thing which I threw down, which just shows you where every chest is in the area, which is nice. Makes it easier to do, and it's
Together we
nice quality of life thing, more quality of life. Because one of my biggest gripes with Genshin Impact was the fact that I'd have to explore for 10 hours to get an area to like wherever percentage I wanted to
I'll
get
take
it
it
at.
as my overtime.
Which is why whenever somebody's like, yeah, I 100% of the area, it's like crazy, and you're like, really? Man, that's insane. You did that? You actually enjoyed the game to 100%? You explored every area in the game? And it's like, whenever that's impressive, I feel like there's an issue. But in this game, like, I don't have any areas like explored like to the entirety yet. But just generally, like, I run around for 10 minutes.
Won't say no to
And
that.
I find
Fine.
30 chests, and then I just kind of wander off to the next area. And while I'm finding those chests, because every chest is pretty much near something, you find all the other collectibles, and you find quests and everything else, which I haven't done yet. I joined the game, I did all the story quests and unlocked every area, and then now I'm just coming back through, and I'm just doing the menial shit, which is exploration, running around doing puzzles, which I will say, again, or well, not again, but I will say the puzzles are very creative, which, I mean,
Answer me.
I feel like it's unfair to compare Genshin Impact to this game because of the fact that both the games are newer, or whatever, but I feel like they've had plenty of opportunities to improve their game, which they haven't. Like, quality of life wise, they've made it easier to get a weapon, which weapons are guaranteed in this game. Completely guaranteed. Characters are not, of course. It's kind of a given. I feel like that's just every gacha game in existence. But the weapons are guaranteed. So if you really want that weapon for a character, or this weapon's really good, you're always gonna get
Cherish
it,
the
and the
gift
pity's
not
lower.
given lightly.
So if you're coming from Genshin Impact, and you think the game's fun, or you think the game looks cool, and you want to try it, the investment for it is really low, unless you're gonna whale, which I don't know why you'd do that if you're just joining the game. But the game's fun. Combat's interesting. I should probably fight a boss to show that. But the combat is fun. It's engaging. I personally love it. I come from playing like Dark Souls and Elden Ring and shit like that. So more difficult combat is definitely fun to me because I like learning, like, you know, the intricacies of combat, which I've fought a couple enemies that I probably shouldn't have. A couple bosses where you can challenge them at higher and higher levels the more you kill them. And I fought a couple of them that I probably shouldn't have fought, and I wasn't really doing damage to them. But it was fun because, well, it's the whole argument of like what makes like Dark Souls games fun is overcoming a challenge that you're not supposed to win. But the combat is fun because you aren't like meant to heal through everything. You just aren't. Because on Genshin Impact, I made Kokomi. For anybody who doesn't play Genshin Impact that watches this, like the 3 people that are maybe going to this point at least, Kokomi is a healer. As far as I'm aware, she's one of the best healers in the game. I liked her because of her design. She was really fun. She was one. I don't know if I could say fun. You just kind of threw down a jellyfish and ran around auto-attacking just a couple enemies. But I just love throwing fish at people because I found it funny, and I like fish.
Dark
it's
forces
like the whole
approach.
thing.
Be on guard.
But I played Kokomi like forever. Always played Kokomi. And she just, the healing trivialized the game, and every single team comp that I ever saw just like had a healer, and any of them that didn't have a healer were usually just like you stun locked the enemy forever, or you had a shielder who made it so you didn't even take damage in the first place, which just like it was very it's definitely a big difference in the combat, which of course that's a given, like the elemental combat, and then just do damage and buff characters in this game, which seems simple, but all the enemies are so like they're so advanced, or they're not advanced. They're kind of advanced. Some of the moves are hard to dodge, some of them aren't. It is very reminiscent of Souls-like combat, which I adore because I love Elden Ring and I love Dark Souls and all those other games like that. Which, quick shout out to Lies of P. If you are ever on the edge of playing that game, play it. It is amazing. I love that game so much. But we're talking about a gacha game. But what was I talking about? Combat, blah blah blah. Combat's good. Combat's fun. If you like difficult combat, you might like this game. Maybe. The gacha game aspect of it, the roles are super forgiving. Just like entirely, and it's amazing to play the game and be like, oh, I only have, you know, enough to get however much pity, and then you learn that the pity is
Answer me.
The pity's lower in this game. So you hit soft pity, which if you're watching this, you don't know what soft pity is. It's essentially just like you have like a 0.8% chance or something to get 0.8% chance to get a 5-star character or a 5-star weapon. And then soft pity is 66 in this game, or 65. It's one or the other. I think it's 66. And essentially, once you hit that soft pity, your chances of getting it will go up significantly. So it'll go like 0.8% on like pool 64 to 4 or 5% on pool 65, which on Genshin Impact it is 74, I think, is whenever it starts. Whenever you start getting pity, soft pity.
No problem.
And like I said, weapon banner is guaranteed, so you are guaranteed to get the weapon that you want. Amazing, because if you really want to get the full potential out of a character, you need the weapon that's designed for said character. Which I will also say that if you're starting out and you're playing a gacha game, I would recommend getting a weapon if it's like the character that you're gonna main or whatever. But I also will say that in that case, I will just say full characters. You probably want more characters than
Dark forces approach.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're gonna talk about co-op. I just joined. I forgot I was on that. So combat or co-op works very similarly to Genshin Impact, where you just somebody joins, blah blah blah. What was it? Oh god, now I'm getting caught up now because somebody just joined me. This is a disaster.
Huh? Oh, there you are.
Time to get back to
Who's a
work.
good
Okay.
boy?
But actually, I'm curious to see whether or not you can fly. Oh, yeah, you can. Okay, go up. That's nice. But
Dark forces
what was I
approach.
talking about? Yeah, it's always more valuable to get more characters than a weapon for a character, unless it's like a main DPS. And like I said, you know you're going to be using this character for the foreseeable future or something, or like you like the character, just gonna say, if you like the character, do whatever you want. Because if you like the character, it might not be the best idea, but for your own enjoyment, if you like the character, then use said character or invest as much as you want into the character. But I highly recommend like looking up a guide or something before you get any character, just so you know whether or not like the character's good or what you need to get ready for the character. Because some of them are very they're interesting to say the least. Like some characters are reliant, like Zani here. This one, she uses something called spectrofrazzle. Apparently, I don't really know what that is. All I know is she uses it, and this character, Phoebe, amplifies it. So I got Phoebe because I heard that she amplifies it. Also, it's and I guess, yeah, I guess we can talk about artifact grinding, I guess, because this person wants to do that. I should probably tell, you know, it's not going to matter because there's not going to be very many people. Yeah, I find it funny that every time I do one of these, like, video things, even though, like, I barely ever do this, but every time it just turns into a disaster, me just going on a rant, and, you know what, I really don't care.
Comes with the job, I guess.
But
Answer me.
artifact grinding or echo grinding, which echoes are essentially just what if you could see through all of the crazy
Be my salvation.
animations and particle effects.
Sentinel, protect me.
Echo was the thing that appeared above its head.
All yours.
Silent.
Interesting. Oh, what?
No contest.
Oh, that's cool.
To knock some heads
Okay.
around.
Okay,
Come
wait.
on.
We're gonna talk about this now because I just found that as well.
To dust.
So you're able to activate your allies' intro and outro skills,
In my way.
which are essentially like intro and outro skills are things that like amplify or do damage. So whenever you saw Phoebe like a while ago just fucking turn into the sun and just shoot out rays of light everywhere,
Sentinel, protect me. Purify.
that was her outro skill, which is makes her do a lot of damage.
Together we stand. Purify.
So
Sentinel, protect
outro
me.
skills are a big part of the game. They do a lot of poise damage, which essentially just it knocks the enemy over and it makes them take more damage. And then certain enemies,
Sentinel, protect me.
you're able to
Just be my salvation.
do a finisher on them. I think that's literally only in the tutorial because I have not seen that again.
I don't
But I
have
also
all
couldn't
day.
be doing it wrong.
Come at me.
But
Reduce
so intro and outro skills are really important.
dust.
And they
All
just
yours.
are essentially where a lot of your damage comes from. It's not all of it,
Over
of
there.
course.
That's
Like
a-
it's a good, it's a decent chunk of like I'd say about 20 to 40%, depending on what characters you're using, of your damage is coming from outro. Healing bonus
Fine.
is a thing.
Comes with the
Okay,
job.
I didn't know that.
Sentinel, protect me.
All
Answer
yours.
me. Crystals, give me
But,
strength.
Okay, so we're done. No, but intro skills and outro skills are a big part of the game. I can now look at this and
Anything I
show
can
you.
help you with.
So I mentioned that she does spectral frazzle, which is the outro skill here. Attack damage, dealing spectral damage equal to 100, blah blah blah. Removing all stacks of heliacal ember, which is what she turns Spectrofrazzle into. Whatever, blah blah blah. She turns Spectrofrazzle into her own thing, which is that it's called helical whatever. Consider Spectrofrazzle damage, Spectro damage by other, yeah, blah blah blah. And the target is marked, and then it pretty much just explodes the fucking guy, depending on. It pretty much just explodes him, depending on how many stacks you have. So I've seen it do like 30,000 damage, just by exploding all those stacks. But God, I was talking about echoes before this, and then I got caught up because I don't know how the co-op works in this game because I've done it once, just to test it because I want to help people in the game. Which then brings me to my next point, which is now the co-op aspect is really cool to me because now you're actually like you're working together. You don't have to, but it'd be worthwhile to switch your character to complement the other person's builds and like buff them or something like that, which is really cool because then you can do co-op and you actually work together and you like try to make a team comp that works. That's cool. I really like that. But echo grinding, which is artifacts for Genshin players, blah blah blah. Echo farming, you can do pretty much anywhere, because any enemy can drop pretty much any artifact, and at a certain point they're only going to drop the like max level ones, which is huge because then you can just kind of run around and kill shit and you can get artifacts. The only downside to this is you can't use artifacts to level up other artifacts unless you leveled them. So if you have like a level 1 artifact that you put like enough XP into it to get it to level 1, you can use that to upgrade the other artifact, blah blah blah. But there's items specifically that are for leveling up artifacts, which I will say that are kind of in abundance. At least right now they are. For me, like I have a bunch of them.
The door. I'll return the favor tenfold.
So,
Come at me.
from my experience, they seem to be in abundance.
Purify.
Which,
Answer me.
is cool. It's nice to...
Pain is my vengeance.
Now you're experiencing like a skill issue because I can't beat this guy.
Together we stand.
Oh, I think I got that guy in Echo.
Windful profits.
But the echoes are nice. It's cool. It's cool to have
All yours.
these guys because like some of them you transform into them. You can like do a couple attacks, whatever. It's just fun to use said, echoes, and you feel a bit like a Pokemon trainer a little bit. But depending on which one you get or which one you equip, you can do certain moves, whatever. And you can
Dark forces
amplify like, certain effects. Like the one that I have on these two characters, which is called Nightmare Ice or something like that. I think.
Sentinel protects me.
It amplifies my Spectro damage, which is the yellow damage. Which is good. It is good. Because that's amplifying my main damage. So that's nice. But it also just kind of like adds a little bit more building into the game, which is nice. I love, amplifying characters that I like. So it's fun. Oh my my god, I'm getting so sidetracked. So much random stuff's happening, and I'm so easy to get distracted.
Dark forces approach. Answer me.
I don't know what I was talking about before this.
This is
Echo grinding is fun. I suck. I really suck. Okay.
I don't have all day.
Echo grinding is fun because
Come on.
I can run around and I'm collecting echoes, which are these things, and there we go. That electro damage bonus. Hooray! You know. A big thing.
Efficiency.
Once you reach a certain level, you are able to add. You're able to use these things. I think they're called tuners. You can add tuners, or are they? I don't know what they're called. Either way, you can use them to change the main stat on an upgraded Echo, which is so good. I haven't used it yet because I'm not the level for it yet. 'Cause I think I literally need to get like one more level and then I'll be the level
be my
for it.
salvation.
But
For the sentinel protect me.
back to my Genshin Impact days of playing Kokomi and maining Kokomi. She was like one of my main DPS because I just
Efficiency,
wanted to make her
above all.
as good as I could. I spent over 3 months grinding out a hydro damage goblet, which was terrible. I hated it. And then even then, I stopped grinding it, not because I got what I wanted, but because it was taking so much time out of my life to do that, like, every day. And, like, I had school, I was graduating, I had to get a job, everything else that was happening during my life was just making it so terrible to do that. And then it was the fact of, like, every time I'd get a hydro damage goblet, it'd roll all into something else, or do all this. Having the ability to change your main affixes on your items is so crazy to me because it makes the grind so small. I'm sure of it, especially for somebody who only cares about main stat. Like I care about making the character as good as possible, of course, but for just like building a character and just making sure they're okay, the only thing that really like matters entirely is the main stats. Of course, having good, substats is great. It's amazing to have good substats. But the only problem with that is, grinding out for hours, for weeks, for fucking months on end to get a good main stat. Because even, like, just the Hydro Goblet thing, it would take me weeks before I got one Hydro Goblet. And then they added the thing where you can, you can make whatever artifact you want with all the stats on it. Or whatever. Or, well, two of the substats out of the 4. And then whatever main stat you wanted. The only problem is that the goblet costed 4 of the things that you use to make them, which is called elixirs. And elixirs are they're super limited. You barely get any of them. You get like one every like month or every 2 months or something. Which was just it is definitely a little bit of. It was annoying, to say the least, because I was like, I want to build my character, but I can't get this artifact, the last artifact that I need for said character to be built, because I can't get it to drop, and I need to wait 5 more months before I can even consider getting, enough elixir to, make said artifact. And even then, I can't guarantee that it's gonna roll well. So it's like you wait 6 months to get an artifact, and then you get said artifact, and then it rolls all into like defense, and then you're just sitting there. It's like, I waited 4 months to make this, and it's terrible. Like, I can't, like, it's like, it's more of a detriment to use this than it's good. Like, I could just use this other thing that only buffs attack, and it's better. It's terrible. That feeling is terrible. But, these modifiers, I think they're called, I can just check in my inventory, which is somewhere. Oh god, I'm lost. Okay, wait. No, I'm lost. I'm full on lost. Uh-oh, disasters kicking in. I will say also, like, all these little boxes or whatever, save these. These all need to be saved until you know what you're gonna use them for. Because they're all super. It's endgame, so just don't use them until they're called tuners. Now I remember, they're called tuners. You use tuners to change the main stat, which the main stat's the most important typically. Yeah, main stat's always the most important. For a build to at least be viable, you need the main stats to be correct. That's the biggest thing, is the main stats need to be either correct or close to correct, which every character has a different build path. You need to look it up. There's tons of guides going over it and blah blah blah. It's just kind of just there's plenty of guides. I'm not going to go into the details of it because you'll watch a video on that. This video is supposed to be blah blah blah. Should you get the game? Combat's fun. The grindiness of it, I am pretty sure, is a lot less, because that's pretty much all I've heard being praised, is that it takes way less for a character to be max leveled, which I think it only takes, if I'm remembering this correctly, and if I saw this correctly, it takes 60 of the characters' like flower or rock that they need to level up to get to max level on Genshin Impact, which is my only thing that I have to go off of. It takes 168 of said flower or rock or whatever they need, which I don't know if I should need to explain this, but collecting of 168 of any item, which are monotonous, and I think they fixed this. You can now like look up where they are like super easily. But a lot earlier in Genshin Impact's lifespan, you had to find all of them manually. So you had to look up guides, you had to look up videos, and everything else to... okay. So I can't do that in co-op. Can I turn off co-op here? Yeah, I can. But it is just, it was terrible having to look through every single like guide and wiki to even like find like 2 flowers for what you needed to get done, to the point that you'd pretty much just mark it on the map where you found like 5 of the item, and then you just come back every like 2 or 3 days, just because like it wasn't worth it to go through all the hassle to find like 15 more of it. So you just wait, and then it would take millennia. Not actually, it wouldn't take millennia. It'd take like a week to get everything you needed for said character. Which, I mean, if you prepared in advance for it or whatever, it wasn't a big deal. But the quality of life of this game, which I haven't used it yet, but you can apparently just search for said flower. It'll show you it on the map, like exactly. Like you don't, it's not even like an area. Like it just shows you on the map exactly, from what I've heard, which is just, that's amazing. That's great. That's great news. You love to hear that. How many moves do I have here? So apparently that aspect is really nice. It's very simple. So that's nice. Like, if you're just getting into the game, it's super easy to pick up. It's super easy to learn, super easy to do, and it doesn't take that much time. Which is great, because, you know, in this day and age, you don't really have a lot of time to just sit back and do something that you want to do for hours or whatever. So you really can't, like, you know, spend a year collecting for a character or something, which of course is a joke. But the quality of life in this game's great. I love it. It's great. The gameplay's nice. The game is gorgeous, to say the least. Like, I need to tap in on that. Like, I have a filter on it because I'm on NVIDIA, whatever. But you can change the graphics in the game and do stuff. But, like, the game is beautiful. And just having the ability to fly around is amazing in the new area. You can't do it in the starting area. But that kind of makes sense. The starting area is just meant to get you introduced to the game. And I will now touch on the puzzles in the game. I have not seen a single puzzle other than just like the kill enemy one.
Good fortune
That
comes
is
your
a
way.
rerun from the other region, the starting region. Every puzzle
Rays
is
of
different
illumination.
and new, which, of course, that isn't a big thing. Like, I don't mind doing some of these puzzles over and over again. But it's cool because there's physics-based puzzles, and some of the puzzles, like the one you saw me do later or earlier, is color matching, and you need to figure out how to match all the colors, which is just interesting to have all these different puzzles and everything else. I also love the fact that they have mimics in the game, because that's funny. Which, I mean, I've ran into a couple of them, and I didn't bring any attention to it, but I love mimics in games. They're cool, they're fun. You know, it's always fun to be like, ooh, a chest, and then you just get, I mean, you try to open it, you get bitch slapped by the said chest, which is, it's always just fun to do that. Like this guy right here, I'm almost 100% guaranteeing you right now that that's a mimic. Yeah.
Block it?
Because it's just cool, because you do a little puzzle. It's not exactly like it's not a difficult puzzle, but you do a little puzzle and mimic. It's just fun. Of course, like, I'm sure a couple people would be annoyed by that. It's like, oh, you did this puzzle, there's a mimic, that's stupid. But it's just a fun little thing, you know? So I really can't, like, I love mimics in games. They're fun, they're just stupid little additions.
Some pocket
And
money.
they just kind of make the game a little bit more fun. They add a little surprise. But the puzzles are all different. The puzzles are engaging. Some are harder than others, of course. But I don't think I've run into a puzzle that, like, pissed me off. What's this? And I've never ran into one of these puzzles, so I'm gonna learn how to do them. So let's see here. I don't know how the red mist works. But it's interesting that there's all these different puzzles, and you're able to do all these different things with said puzzle. I don't know how that redness works.
Efficiency,
Like I said.
above all.
But the puzzles are fun. The puzzles are interesting. I will say that. Which is just me repeating myself for the 19th time because I'm losing all sense of what I'm doing. Which this is gonna come as a big shock. I have like 4 subscribers. This is my first time in recording on a PC. I don't have any recording software. I'm using NVIDIA. I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. This is going to be very unprofessional. It's just me recording and going on a rant. But I kind of just wanted to talk about this game because I've been loving it recently and I've been enjoying the hell out of it. And I just wanted to share my thoughts on it because I don't really have anybody to talk to about games like these. Because I don't have any friends that are exactly interested in games like these that I talk to on a regular basis. So it's literally just me being the one interested in it, and I just love these games. Or I love this game. This game is one of my top 5 or top 10. One of my top 10, for sure. And I want to touch on the story because I said like the story in the first act isn't great. It's not very engaging. It's not very interesting, in my opinion. But after Act 1, the game picks it up. Like, really, really picks it up. Like, you fight a giant dragon, or whatever. I don't want to ruin the story too heavily. But you fight a dragon at some point. And the cutscene work, and the animations, which the animations, there's so much put into the work for the animations, and it's amazing. Like every character has a different plunging attack. The alts are great. Like all the effects are beautiful, and of course sometimes there's a lot going on that you can barely see or whatever. Which fair enough. You know, it's a little hard to see your screen sometimes. But the game looks gorgeous. And the combat's fun. And the story is amazing. I was affected so heavily by the story. Which I'm sure it has some kind of like overarching plot or whatever. But you play the game and... or an overarching, not plot, but there's a lesson to be learned from it. But just me playing the game, the story made me so emotional. I don't know if I'd say emotional. But the story was like, it was just so... It was beautiful to see the characters develop and like see where the story was going and them overcome, you know, everything. Which leads me to the segue of story quests, which I've only done 2 of them. Which this is one of my gripes about Genshin Impact, which is the fact that a few of the story quests in Genshin Impact,
be on guard.
like a few of them are great, like Raiden or A or the Electro Archon. Her story is good. It teaches you like her past, and you learn more about her character, and you help her make developments with her character or whatever. And then Kokomi, which I mentioned is one of my favorite characters, her quest involves going to a meeting. That's it. You go to a meeting, and then people try to kill somebody, and then you stop them from killing each other because Kokomi planned it out and was like, ah, we knew you were going to do that, so I prepared in advance. And then the quest ends. You don't learn very much about her story. You don't learn very much about her past. You just learn that, you know, she's smart, which you already knew. So it's just kind of like a, wow, my favorite character, and you're just gonna be like, aha, see how smart she is. isn't she so smart? It's like, yeah. It's like, this is my favorite character. Like, why you gotta do my favorite character like that? So it's definitely some of the story quests have, they're definitely not as rewarding as I would like, or they're not as like story oriented. Which, you know what, I get you can't make everything perfect.
Efficiency above all.
But I will say, out of the 2 story quests I've done, which are Carlotta and Zani, I've enjoyed both of them thoroughly. They have cutscenes to them, which the cutscenes were gorgeous. Like always, like I said, the cutscene work in this game is amazing. It's beautiful. The animations are great. They have a lot of talent behind this game. And the management I've heard is amazing. Like, they listen to their community, and it's just generally great. Oh! Is that? I don't know what that is. Okay. I really don't know what the hell I'm doing here.
I'll take it as my overtime fee.
Oh my god, how did I take that long to figure that out? Oh gosh. I can't talk while I play a game. Oh my god, this is terrible. I'm glad like a person's going to watch this video. Which, I mean, if you're gonna watch this video, I should have said this at the start. Just do something else. Like, just don't make this video like the main thing you're doing, because it's a terrible idea. Oh no, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, let's do this. Okay. But the story for the characters are great. They're
Dark forces
overall
approach.
amazing.
Be on guard. Answer me.
Every character that I've ran into, there have been a few that I'm not like very interested in. But for the most part, pretty much every character I've ran into, I'm either interested in, and I think they're cool. I think their design's great.
Come at me.
Or just like, it's just like, I haven't seen a character in this game that I'm just like, okay, you're boring. Get out of here. I don't care. Which it's always a nice thing whenever you aren't just like a character sucks. Fuck off. So, to say the least, the stories have been great. Characters have been amazing. The exploration has been fun. What is this?
Dark
Just generally
forces approach.
enjoyed the combat, of course.
Path is arduous. Shielding others. Bask in the sunlight.
Of course, you can have. Okay, I'm gonna say this as well. Since you only have 3 characters on your team,
Knock some heads out.
generally team comps cost less as well. So you don't need to spend as much investment for, you know, a full team of characters where in Genshin Impact you can typically you'd have a main DPS, a sub DPS, or you could have 2 sub DPS, and then a support, or main DPS. I think typically the team comp is main DPS, sub DPS, applicator to apply status effects or to apply certain elements, and then you would have a support of some kind. So that's what the game, that's what it would turn into. But in this game, you only have, you know, a sub DPS, a main DPS, and either a support or another DPS. Which, you know, it certainly makes general team building less expensive. So you don't need to invest as much time or currency into building a team for a character. Which is great, you know, I love that. It's always fun to not, you know, have to spend as much effort to get something that you want to work. But it's not like so little effort that it makes it, you know, just trivial. And you're like, oh, you know, easy, done. But it makes the game, you know, easier to switch up, because that was one of my biggest problems with Genshin Impact, is the fact that if I wanted to use a different character and I wanted to use them to like the best effect or whatever, I needed, you know, this item, that item, this character, that character, and this character. You know, you really don't need this one. It's nice to have this one, because if you want the full potential, you gotta use this one, or whatever. And it is just like, oh, okay. So I need, you know, 30 million things for this character to work. That is just.
Sentinel, protect me. Answer me.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's terrible, but it definitely was.
Purify.
It's definitely a big difference from this game.
Bluebird, be my salvation.
I will say,
In the name of Imperator.
After playing this game, I cannot go back to Genshin Impact, probably. I'm probably going to like help some of my friends out on that game if they ask me through Discord. But that's pretty much the only way that I'm going to go back to that game.
Take it,
and even then, I'm going to go back for like a little bit.
Good
I have everything I could once in that game done. And it's not like I care about any of the characters. Like, I think Skirk's cool. And I wanted Skirk. But, now that I'm playing this game, I can't really handle 2 gacha games at once. Because I just put a lot of time into them. So I don't care anymore. Like, I'm not going to play the game to get certain characters, level them, or whatever. Which, I mean, like, to their own, you do what you want. But it's just my honest opinion that I think this game is good, and I highly recommend the game. And
I call upon the Sentinel.
I think in a couple months they're going to release the next area, or maybe just a month. The 3.0 update, I think, is coming out, and the 3.0 update is releasing the new region. I hope you're allowed to fly in that new region.
Come at me.
Because that'd be fun. They're releasing the new region, and that new region is going to be based on
some pocket money. Won't say no to that.
Rome, I think. I think it's based on Rome, and I saw some of the teaser pictures for it, and the sky is literally fractured. There's like a mountain with tendrils going up into the sky. It looks cool. Gotcha. It looks really cool. Which I'm excited for. I've seen some of the characters. They look fun. Or, well, they don't. I didn't see gameplay of them, but I saw their designs, and their designs look cool. And they're all based around like Roman, so it's like gold, and blues, and reds, and whites. It looks good. I can't deny that it looks good. It looks like it's going to be a lot of interesting stuff going on there. But the game, oh my god, I just can't get over how good the game looks. Which I need to show. No. If you're gonna play the game from this video, you need to see it for yourself. But that tornado has a lot of lore significance. I'll tell you that much. That's it. And there's an area, and if you've ever played Elden Ring, It's like Farm Azula, but it looks way better than Farm Azula. Azula, and it is gorgeous. And I loved the cutscene after that place. It looked amazing. They're very good at the whole just like, look at this, isn't it awesome? And 9 times out of 10, it is awesome. It is really awesome. And then the 1 out of 10 chance that it's not like really awesome, it's still pretty cool. Oh god, I am so... Yeah, maybe I should have gotten a script, but you know what? We're improvising. Improvisation is a skill that I don't have. Oh god. This is just a rant, like I said, because I want to talk about this game, but I don't have anybody to really talk about the game to. So my solution is to rant about it in a video and then upload that to YouTube for 2 people to watch and be like, this guy sucks at being a content creator, and then never look at me ever again. Which, you know, I'm sure. Okay. Which I'm sure is what's going to happen. Because, well, I know better than anybody. Well, no, I don't know. I don't know better than anybody. But I know full well that, you know, just listening to a person rant isn't the most interesting. It's typically more interesting whenever it's about, like, a certain topic. And this is just generally, like, why I think this game is great. Which, I mean, I'm sure you can tell I have a lot of passion for it. The thing is that passion is very, oh, blah, 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 we're going to talk about this. Oh, this happened. Okay, we're going to talk about this now. And I don't think I finished a single topic. No, I think I have. Generally, okay, I'm just going to do a quick checklist. So exploration is good. Combat is good. The story is great after you get the first few quests done. The cutscenes, amazing. The music, I haven't talked about the music. The music, is good. The music's good, honestly. I listen to Spotify a lot while I play games. I have been so against listening to Spotify while I play this game. It's kind of funny to me, because I've just been sitting here and I'm just like, do I want to turn on Spotify? And then I hear like a character talking, and then the music, and then I'm just like, no, I don't think I am. Which brings me, actually, this brings me to another point. The main character in this game actually talks. Like, they don't talk, like, a lot, but they talk, in the quest, like, 2 or 3 times. In the story quest, they talk, like, you know, 5 or 6 times during the whole story. Which, I mean, the stories only take, they take like an hour, maybe. I think it took like an hour to play through the story for a lot of. They don't take a lot of time, but the main character in Genshin Impact,
won't say no to
I
that.
can't say much about Honkai Star Rail, which these are all just Hoyoverse games, but the main character in Genshin Impact, which is you know, this game's main competitor,
Gotcha.
would talk on rare occasion in cutscenes, and even then, those cutscenes, they'd be like, "My brother, oh no," it's just like, that's it. It's like the first line that you've ever spoken, and it's just like, oh no! And by spoken, I mean voice acting, of course.
Efficiency above all.
But your character in this game is, they talk, which is great. You know, it makes you feel more involved, which is always a good thing. Because if you're playing through a game, and you want a good story, you need to make sure the player is involved. Because if you're just watching a silent protagonist walk around and solve other people's problems, for no gain. Other than just being like,
In the name
oh,
of
well,
the territory.
no, we don't know who your brother is. Which is Genshin Impact.
I'll take it as my
where you,
overtime fee.
you know, you save said country or save said faction or city or people, and then they're just like, well, you see, we know less than you do, but you can go
Shielding
to the
others
next
is
city
my duty.
and
Answer me.
they can tell you that they don't know either.
Be my salvation.
But we'll keep you updated on if we learn anything. And fun fact, they never learn anything.
Pain is my penitence. Shine, holy light. Sentinel, protect me.
Yeah, okay, so I'm not sure if you're even watching the video or whatever at this point, which I'm sure nobody is.
Efficiency.
Dark
People would have
forces
lost
approach. Beyond
all
God.
involvement with this fucking video about 10 minutes in. I don't know how long I've been recording. I'm not going to check it until I'm done talking, because this is just mostly like a rant to get shit off my
Going
chest.
against
Just be
wind.
like, yeah, I like this game, and I want to talk about it for a little bit. Which I will say this now. Every character is unique. Or well, most characters are unique. Every character that I've played or tried has had a unique play style to an extent. Which I would show more characters, but I only have these 3 built. So, and even then, I don't have these guys built exactly well because I'm low level and I just started building my characters yesterday, or no, 2 days ago. And yesterday I spent about an hour on this game after I got home from work, and then I had a bunch of other shit I needed to do. So I didn't really do much yesterday on this game, other than, you know, getting materials to level up my character. Because I am currently saving. Right now is a great time to start the game as well, because they're doing their anniversary, so there's a bunch of anniversary rewards and, you know, a bunch of other stuff. Right now is a good time to start because, like I said, they're doing their anniversary, and with the new character they're releasing tomorrow, they are doing a rerun banner, which allows you to choose. They're doing a part 2 of it because right now there's part 1, which I'm sorry if you're interested in any of these characters. Which is these 5 characters where you can choose whichever one you want to roll for, and then this one, which I will talk about these now. The character banners are the only ones with pity on them, and I don't know if I'm exactly correct on this, but I think the pity is saved between these 2. So if you wish 40 times on this banner, and then you don't get anything and the banner ends, and the only one that's there is this one, you can wish on this one and you'll keep that 40 pity. I'm pretty sure that's how it works, because whenever I check the history, it'll show me the wishes I've done for this one and this one. So that's nice. And like I said, weapon banner, you're guaranteed to get the weapon that you're going for. So if I'm wishing for Verdant Summit or whatever, this is this guy's weapon, then I'm guaranteed to get it in at least in 80, and at most 80, but more or less you're going to get it around maybe the 70 or 75 mark. Usually. Sometimes you'll get it at the level of like 1 mark if you get really lucky. Which we'll do a wish one up. So of course you can skip whatever, which actually brings me to the next segment, which is you can skip talking to people in this game. There's a skip button for everything. Even in the main story, you can just skip it. The cutscenes you can't skip, which, I mean, I don't know why you would. And even then, I'm going to say this. Having a skip button for the main story is a sin. Which is not me telling you to remove it if somehow the people who made it, which is Koro, I'm not saying to remove the skip button because it's nice for the side quests, but if you sit there and you listen to the voice acting and you listen to the characters and you learn their story and you know the context, the story gets really, well, obviously it gets better, but the story is actually pretty
Dark
interesting.
forces approach. Beyond
And the
guard.
characters do different things in the story, or like the animations, which are completely different from Genshin Impact, where whenever you're sitting there talking to a character, they're blank-faced, they're just looking at you, and they're like waving their hands around. But like, well, you can tell they're really proud of it. But the characters in this game have a lot of facial expressions that they can move around and edit, and you can very well tell that because they'll do a close-up on a character's face, and you can see their eyes moving or their mouth moving or whatever, and like it lines up perfectly, and it's great. Like the small details, like you don't really notice, but like I think it was some like director of a movie or something who said it, where like it's something like your eyes didn't see it but your brain did, or something like that, or it might be the other way around, but essentially like you can tell that it's happening. You don't bring a lot of like consciousness to it, but you can tell it's happening, and you can like see it happening, and like you grow to appreciate it. And is that dragon doing a pass on that bridge? Okay, that's certainly interesting. I don't know what to talk about anymore. I love this game. I am only going to like this game more. I'm certain of it. Because the next banners that are coming out the characters look amazing. And of course some of them are reruns.
Come on.
And some of the characters in said reruns are amazing. And I will say,
Some
if you're
pocket
looking to
money.
start out with the game, and you start out
Dark forces approach.
tomorrow
Beyond guard.
or next week or whenever, Jinshi and Carlotta are some of the best DPS from what I've heard. And if you want to play Kartathea,
Over there.
I'd look into it, but I think the new girl who is a bard is going to be really good for her and buff her damage quite a bit, which I'm probably going to get the bard girl anyways, because
I'll
I
take
think
it as
she's
my
cool
overtime
and I like
fee.
her design, which is another reason why, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm pretty sure any character can do anything in this game, because I've seen like 4-star characters, which are typically worse, like doing endgame content, which, you know, I feel like being like, oh my god, that's possible, it shouldn't be like a crazy thing. But a lot of games definitely don't make the 4 stars very strong. But I've seen some 4 stars doing some crazy stuff. So if you like a character and you want to commit time to them, I'm pretty sure you get a payout, I'm sure of that. Like, it's not like you doing something for no reason and then just being like, well, this character sucks, so, you know, there's no point doing this. I think there's a couple characters that are like that, but I don't know them by name, and honestly, I don't really know too much about the meta of the game, whatever. I'm just playing it because I enjoy it, which is always the best thing. You should never stress meta to such an extent, which I think the endgame content in this game isn't so difficult that you need to stress meta. Like, you need a decent team, of course, but I don't think you need like god roll artifacts like you do in Genshin Impact, because, well, you know, Abyss, Spiraling Abyss,
Answer me.
I think
Silence.
I've full cleared like twice, because, well, I want to use, you know, my characters to clear it. I don't do like a lot with meta. Like, I don't really care for meta, so I didn't really exactly have any like the super crazy meta characters. I had the characters that I liked, which, I mean, my team comps weren't terrible. You know, I had vaporize, whatever, blah blah blah. But they weren't like super meta defining and whatever. So it was very
Some pocket money. Won't say
which, I mean,
no
of course,
to
you
that.
know, it's like you're supposed to have meta defining to do that endgame content. But the content was just like insane because you'd go to fight, the final level of Spiraling Abyss, and it's literally just like a crocodile with 30 million HP, and it's just like, why? It's not like it's a crazy big thing either. Like you get like maybe like 60 as premium currency for doing it, or something like that, or you get like 100 of it. But it's just like, why are you adding like just random ass enemy with 9 quadrillion health where they're just a punching bag? Like they don't move, you're stun locking them, you're just sitting there hitting a fucking enemy for 4 minutes just trying to kill it. Like a punching bag in real life is fun. A punching bag in a game where it's just sitting there and tanking all your strongest attacks for 20 minutes isn't fun. Because then at that point it's just tedious. Like you're just doing it for the rewards.
Gotcha.
I feel like you shouldn't, if you're doing something only for the
Dark
reward,
forces approach.
and like you don't find it fun, I don't think it's like a super big problem. But it's definitely just like interesting. It's just kind of like, kind of like, that's not great design. I feel like you shouldn't have to do that. But it's definitely like, at this point in the game, I finished the main story, and now I'm just going back and doing quests and exploring, which I'm still enjoying the exploration, and you get rewards for exploring. Certain percentages give you different rewards, which I think is the same in Genshin Impact. Although I think you only got rewards for like collecting chests and shit. But you get rewards from the chest, and on top of that you get achievements for opening chests. And then even further beyond that, you get, if you go to the map, you get these little rewards here at 25, 50, 75, and 100. And you can track these as well, which is really nice that you can just kind of hit this and then track. And then you can teleport as close as possible. Which is nice. It's very nice that you can do that. You can only do that with certain explorable things, like the puzzles and stuff like that. But it's definitely nice. It's nice to see how many there are left and everything else. And once you reach a certain point, you can also just throw down these things called loot mappers.
Blessings they bring.
And they'll just show you where chests are. Like, they'll just tell you where they are, which is nice. Because it makes exploration a hell of a lot easier.
Dark forces approach.
Which I much prefer that compared to. They show you where a chest is in an area, which is nice. They don't. It's not like the compass from Genshin Impact where you make it,
take it as
and
my
then you get like a
overtime
general like, it might be over here, and then it leads you to it, and you're like, well. It's fucking not. And then you just have to spend 20 minutes running around before you learn, oh, it's in a building I can't get to because I need to do a quest. That's always a great time. And now we're gonna figure out.
Gotcha.
No, we're not.
Windfall profits.
But it's definitely a whole lot easier. And plus side for anybody who's played Genshin Impact and used said compass,
Some pocket money. Won't say no
it
to
tells you
that.
where the chests are in the rocks. So you don't have to, hit 100% exploration and then be sitting there questioning where the fuck, or 99% exploration, and be like, where the fuck is this damn chest? And then you find out it's sitting in a rock in a corner where you just had to walk by it and hit it with a fucking sword. Which actually brings me to another point which I wanted to make, and the fact that any character can mine anything. Because bow characters in Genshin Impact, they can't mine any, like they can't break stones, or they can't break ore, so you can't mine ore with them. So you would need to switch to a different character to be able to mine, which, I mean, it doesn't take that long. It takes like 30 seconds, but it's so annoying because you switch your character, switch back to the characters you want to use, because sometimes none of them have, you know, claymore or great sword or sword or anything else to mine with. And then you walk 3 feet and whoop-de-doo, there's more of that ore you need, so you need to switch to another character again
Dark Force answering.
to mine said ore. So it turns into a whole fucking thing.
Sentinel
Which
protects
is
me.
just, is definitely not very fun. And right now I'm doing,
No contest. Come at me.
this is local legend.
My shield
As
can
they're called
withstand
in
more than
Mission
that.
in this game, I think they're literally called like challenges or whatever.
Sentinel protects
But these are essentially just super difficult enemies. And they just have, they're high level, of course. Like you're not supposed to fight them at my level. But you're allowed to, because you can do percentage damage if you dodge counter them.
Come
Which
on.
is great. Because it gives
Just a scratch.
energy.
people who want to fight them early, it gives them the ability to. Because it doesn't level lock very much, which is nice. 'Cause, you know, level locking
Give it to
is
me.
never very fun.
Efficiency above all. Impossible.
So I'm screwing up, of course. Do I have? Oh, I do have these. Okay.
I can use some fertilizer.
Shut. All yours.
Shit.
Give me your worst. No.
Shit.
I've still got work.
So I'm gonna do this. Jesus. Oh, I'm getting so sidetracked. I think I talked about everything, right? I think so. I'll say one more thing. Let's see if I can do
Anything
an
I can
example
help.
here with
Hopefully.
this girl here. Because I think I have something she uses. I don't have something she uses, I don't think. Oh, no, I do have this. I have this. But I don't I can get another one really easily. So, you can, you know, level up, you can level up one of these echoes, blah, blah, blah. And what that does is it makes it so you can tune it, which tuning is weird. Tuning, you need, you know, tuning materials, blah, 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 to do it. And then you just tune it, and nice, great, that's not bad. The best way to do that is you level it up 5 times, you tune it, see what you get. You level it up 5 more times, tune it, see what you get. If you got something good, then you keep tuning it. But if you didn't, you kind of just don't. You kind of just don't. You just kind of stop, and you're like, we'll try again with a different artifact or a different echo, which
Efficiency above
they're
all.
so easy to get that you don't have to really, you know. You really don't. It's not too bad to do it. You just kind of go, oh well, you know, I'll try it again. And then if you're really struggling, and you're at the level where you start echo farming, because you really shouldn't be doing it at the start of the game, because it's not really worth it to do it at the start of the game, and you're at that level where you can tune it and you can modify it or whatever, then you can. If you're really struggling to get something, you can just modify it, and then ta-da, you have what you need to get it. Like, you have the main stat, you have this, you have that, and from what I've seen, getting those modifiers isn't that difficult. Like, they offer them pretty handily, which brings me into the last point that I'm going to make here. The rewards the game gives you are great. Like they'll just give you a bunch of stuff, which is nice because it makes the game less grindy and it makes you enjoy the game more. And one of the best points I've ever heard about a game, this game specifically, is that a guy, I just saw a YouTube short one night, and the guy said, this game is a game first and a gotcha later. They care more about you having fun than you spending money on the game. They want you to spend money on the game. I won't deny that, because of course everybody wants to make money. But they care more about you having fun and playing the game and enjoying it, because the more you play the game, the more their investors get, because you're playing the game, you're giving them numbers. And they seem to have fun with the game too. Like, they seem to, actually enjoy making the characters. Because, this game definitely has a lot of passion behind it. The developers definitely care. Because people make complaints and they listen. Which is one of the biggest things, is developers listening. I just hope that they don't listen to every complaint, because some of them kind of frustrating. Where, like, you listen to, like, some guy complaining, like this, and he's in his own little bubble, and everybody's like, why are you complaining about that? That's perfectly fine. And then they make the change because they listen to said guy, and then it just makes the game worse. I hope they don't do something like that, because that'd be really bad, but, from what I've heard, and from what I've seen, people enjoy the changes. The changes are great. I'm very excited to see what happens with the new characters and the new game and
Dark
new
forces
region.
approach. Beyond guard.
Pretty much every character looks great.
No
Bringing me to this point of
Come at me.
some of the characters are very
I'll
sexualized.
take it as my overtime fee.
They definitely show a lot of skin, which is not inherently like the biggest problem. I'm sure some people would be uncomfortable with that. Which, I mean, yeah, makes sense.
Some pocket money.
I'm gonna be
Won't say
honest,
no to
I'm
that.
not the most comfortable with it, because I don't play games like these to, be like, ooh, that character's hot.
Gotcha.
I play them for the gameplay, mostly. But,
Dark forces approach. Beyond guard.
for people that are uncomfortable by that, good luck, It's definitely not like a crazy big issue. It's not like, oh my god, I can't believe they did this. I mean, like, teach their own. You can just not play the game. I mean, there's games that are a lot worse. We can look through the fucking characters right now. Like,
The
this is
divinity
a new
may
one.
foresee the
She's
future
a bard.
of the world,
She's
but
the
I
newest
doubt they can
character.
predict
She's
which
coming out
song people
tomorrow.
will play tomorrow.
She's fun. She looks fun. I don't know if she's gonna be fun, but she looks fun.
Anything I
Sonny,
can
the character
help
I've been
you
using the
with.
entire time. Cantarella.
The
Jesus
tides.
Christ.
Anything I...
This guy,
To which stage
he's great.
will
I
life
love him.
guide
I've
us next?
trialed him like once or twice. He drops anchors on people. It's funny.
Today will be a
Phoebe, a child. She's cool. She has a tornado. Carlotta, which, like I said, is one of the best DPS in the game.
Or for battle.
Apparently. I don't really know meta. Crazy. Camellia,
Would
which
you like a fun
she's
game
fun as well.
between the two of us?
I've played her before. She's really fun as well.
Understood.
Well, she's not. I can't
Would
say
you
she's
like
funner.
a
The gameplay is
fun
relatively
game
basic,
between
but
the
she
two
turns
of
into a
us?
helicopter. Kind of. Not like an actual helicopter. She like
Understood.
spins around like crazy. It's
I am
really
here
funny.
to serve your
We
will.
have Shorekeeper.
The experiment begins.
Robot arm guy. I'm not even gonna try to say that name. The painter.
Plan with
Phoenix.
convention,
She's cool. She's
then
fun.
conquer.
We
May
have
I pray
Shinshi,
for
which
anything specific?
drops dragons on
It
people.
would be my honor.
That's kind of important to her character. She just has a dragon. She's cool.
No rush.
Yinlin, which
The impatient ones will
she's a
fall
sub
right
DPS.
into
She
our
buffs
lap.
electric characters. She's cool.
The battlefield is
And
dynamic.
also has a
Do
dragon.
not
They
let
like
your guard
dragons in
down.
this game. At least the starting characters do. He's cool. He's
No
fun
way
to
I
play.
pray for anything
We have
I see my way
Calcaro,
clear.
Calcium, and whatever. People just call him a bunch of random shit. I've seen him called Caffeine. Apparently he's a noob trap or something like that. Like, apparently he's not very good. But I will say this again. I've also seen that he can be good if you put effort into him. So get the character if you want him. He's fun, I've heard, and he's difficult. But I mean, who cares? If you like the character, play the damn character. Ling Yang, which I have no idea anything about, but yeah, he's a character. He's got like a dragon head. He's cool, I guess.
I'll do my best.
Martial arts woman. She's cool. Like the Calic.
Hopefully, we'll
Child.
make new findings.
She heals, and then child,
Time
but
for
damage.
another adventure?
So...
Let
And
me
then we
be
have the
there
main
for
character,
everyone.
of course, which you can
Eyes on
switch
the
between male
horizon.
and female main characters, and you can switch their elements on the fly, which is nice. Rat,
Gotcha, didn't I?
a child that apparently a lot of people hate,
Anything I can help you with?
a doctor guy.
Gotcha. Sometimes I get a little carried away in
I
battles.
can't remember if it's her or
I didn't
not, but
start
apparently
early, did
she's
I?
one of the best 4-stars in the game, and she can even compete with some of the 5-stars on damage. Apparently she's super powerful.
I
Senhua
should try
here.
to smile more,
Which
you
I
say.
should not have said that because I'm pretty sure I just
Like
butchered
this?
it. She's pretty good sub DPS, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I used her a little bit. She's fun.
Make this quick. I have
Mortifi, which
experiments in the
apparently
way.
is, I'm pretty sure he's also pretty good.
Why
Baiju, which is
hesitate
your
if
first
you know
healer,
what you
which
want?
is she's pretty good. I like her a
Nice
lot.
pick.
Alto, which a lot
You
of
won't
people
regret
like
choosing Altos
because he's charismatic and he's cool.
Perfect weather for a walk today.
Jesus Christ. I don't know anything about her.
Let's
And then
reach
you get
farther
these two characters whenever you
Let's
start.
reach farther destination.
And this character I've seen do 300,000 damage consistently, which is terrifying. Because she's a starter character. But yeah, no, definitely a lot to this game. And my
Efficiency, above all.
fuck, is it a 2-hour-long video? However long video this is. I love this game. I'll show you my name. You can join me if you want. And you can. I don't really care. Do whatever the fuck you want. Join me, bully me in the comments, have fun. I really don't, I mean, I'm not going to check my YouTube comments. I really don't care. I just wanted to rant today, and I felt like it, and I got to go to work
Free
here
as a
soon,
bird.
so. Oh, God. I'm going to spend all my money on this game. Of course, that's a joke, but, you know, we're here to have fun. Here to hang out. Do whatever. I don't know. If you made it this far, because I don't fucking know, you fell asleep because I'm so boring or something, I might start streaming or some shit. Maybe like once a millennia, you know. To check back in 5 years later, like I don't know, give it 5 years from this date. I'll be playing Elden Ring 7 on stream. Maybe, I don't fucking know. I might die tomorrow. Who cares? I'm like, we're here to hang out. I'm here to have fun. I'm living my life. It's a great time. I love this game. I highly recommend it. If somebody asks me a question in the comments, I'll try to answer it. I guess about like Genshin Impact or this game or. Oh, that's cool. So if you run out of stamina, you don't die. You'll just, like, slide down. Okay. That's something I just learned. Okay, that's cool. That's nice. It prevents you from fucking killing yourself. That's great. That's always a good thing to see. Okay, and, outro. Outro doesn't exist. Fuck you. I'm leaving. Congratulations on watching it. I love you. Goodbye.